Hello, everyone. Welcome to this first Enable 2020 online forum hosted by Carleton University in partnership with Independent Living and Tetra North America, March of Dimes, Accessibility, and Neil Squire. Quick note to let everyone know that there's closed captioning for this event. So if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see there's a closed captioning button. And if you click on that, that will give you your closed captioning. And we'd also like to thank the Ontario Ministry, who once again has generously provided funding for this event. This three-day event and forum about accessibility and assistive technologies for people with disabilities, including a roster of speakers who are leaders in the sector. There'll be a lot of valuable and relevant content, and we want you to know that all the sessions are being recorded and will be shared with everyone afterwards who's registered for the event. We'll also, of course, put the content up on our READ YouTube channel, which we will share with everyone to ensure ease of continued access for everyone. At the conclusion of the formal program tomorrow and Thursday, you'll see what we've included, a special after-hours session for each of our collaborating partners has prepared. If you haven't already done so, we encourage you to visit our website, enableottawa.ca, to register for these fireside chats, as we're calling them. Additionally, tomorrow at 4 p.m., AI Media will be on deck to provide a presentation on their closed captioning services, which they're actually generously donating to us for this current platform. If you're just joining us, I can see there's more attendees slowly coming in now. Again, you can click on the closed captioning button to see the closed captioning if you require it. As we move to the next few days, we'll be posting regularly to our @EnableOttawa Twitter account, and we'll encourage you to do the same, post your feeds, follow us, reshare our content so that we can get as many people involved as we can. And now, before we move to introduce our first speaker, I'd like to please remind everyone that microphones and cameras are turned off for attendees. If you have any questions, you can use the Q&A button down below. We will conduct curated Q&A sessions after most of the presentations. If we're unable to get to all the questions, I'm sure we won't, please know we'll include responses, and that content too will be available after the chat. We're required by the technology that supports us to stay on time at all sessions, and that will be difficult to do, I'm sure, as this is our first sort of foray into this kind of environment. So please provide us with a little bit of patience in that regard. Now, without further comment from me, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Boris Vukovic, who's the director of READ, who will introduce our first speaker.
Thank you, John. It's great to be here. It's a little bit weird to not see the participants. 399 is what I was told last was the registration number, which is mind-blowing. So welcome to this virtual Enable Ottawa 5th year. Welcome to a corner of my home as well. It's really nice to be able to pull this off this year. We were wondering how this will go. Pleasure to have you all here. It's a pleasure to celebrate the National Accessibility Week. I would like to welcome Suzanne Blanchard, the VP, Vice President of Students and Enrollment at Carleton University. Suzanne represents Carleton University's top leadership and their critical support in advancing accessibility, both at Carleton University and externally. Suzanne is part of the Vice President group that established the READ initiative that is hosting this great event. READ stands for Research, Education, Accessibility, and Design. Suzanne is also our executive champion for the Coordinated Accessibility Strategy at Carleton University, which, by the way, will be launched today. So keep an eye out for that as well, and please look more into this great initiative too. Finally, Suzanne is the chair of the Governing Council for the Canadian Accessibility Network, another very important accessibility initiative that Carleton has been championing and is partnering with 30 other organizations across Canada. So on that note, I will turn it over to Suzanne to kick off day one of Enable Ottawa. Thank you.
Thank you, Boris. That was a great introduction. There's a lot of work happening at Carleton. So I would like to begin by acknowledging the location of the Carleton University campus on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin Nation. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to all to Enable Ottawa 2020 and to a virtual Carleton University. Now in its 5th year, Enable Ottawa continues to bring together individuals and organizations interested in assisted devices and innovative technologies supporting accessibility and inclusion for persons with disabilities. These uncertain times prevented us from coming together in person at Carleton for the one-day conference and exhibition we had planned. But we really recognize that there's even greater need to stay connected with our friends and colleagues in the field. So we're therefore excited to present this alternative online version of Enable Ottawa in conjunction with the National Accessibility Week. The speakers participating in this forum over the coming days represent a wide range of experience and perspective in the assistive technology and accessibility sectors. And on behalf of Enable Ottawa Planning Committee and Carleton, I welcome and thank everyone for participating. I would also like to welcome and thank Yasmin Naroche, Deputy Minister of Public Service Accessibility, who will be joining the forum tomorrow. Enable Ottawa is a unique event that brings together the many organizations active in the development of innovative technological solutions to support accessibility and inclusion for persons with disabilities. During this year's forum, you will hear from best practice organizations that really understand the value of creating accessible and inclusive environments. Carleton University has an established history of creating such an environment that began with its built environment and its fundamental culture of accessibility. Today, we remain committed to building on our status as Canada's most accessible university, embedding accessibility into the university's strategic integrated plan with a new coordinated accessibility strategy, which is also going to be launched today, as Boris was telling us just earlier. There are many examples of initiatives that support the strategic mandate, including READ, which stands for Research, Education, Accessibility, and Design. And the READ initiative and its many projects and collaborations, which now includes the Canadian Accessibility Network, brings together faculty, staff, students, and external stakeholders from across disciplines and sectors to collaborate on accessibility issues in a pan-Canadian setting. We continue to take pride on our work in research and program development, particularly through READ-I, the READ-I program, which is the first interdisciplinary university accessibility training program in Canada. Our students show the same commitment to accessibility, having won the Council of Ontario University's IDA contest during the 5 years that it was held. And Carleton has a number of services to support students with varying abilities, including our 24-hour attendance service program offered in partnership with Algonquin College, and the Paul Menton Center for Students with Disabilities, which continues to offer exceptional support and is now celebrating its 30-year anniversary. Our supports also extend beyond the classroom as students transition from the classroom to the workplace, like the Accessible Career Transition ACT program. It's a career development service that provides support to Carleton students and alumni with varying abilities. And we also have to supplement that, the Act to Employ program that provides students with the opportunity to gain real-world experience by working in placements related to their area of study and their interests. And then we have the David C. Onley Initiative for Employment and Enterprise. A recently concluded key project under READ was a 2-year regional partnership between the city's 4 post-secondary institutions. With and through its partners, this initiative worked towards creating greater employment success for students and graduates with disabilities, while also helping the employers identify and make those inclusive changes that provided tangible benefits to their organizations. Now today, in the ongoing wait of what will inevitably be a new life after COVID-19, assisted and adaptive technologies will continue to play an important role toward creating a more inclusive world. So at Carleton, we will continue to build on our culture of accessibility and inclusion by assuming a leadership in hosting forums such as Enable Ottawa, ensuring that the best practices are shared and that students are developing the skills critical for success in increasing digital economy in the world. So here at Carleton, we believe that by working together collaboratively, we can continue toward that accessible and inclusive world. So before I finish, I would like to take a moment to thank the organizers of this event. So the Carleton University READ Initiative and the Faculty of Engineering Design at Carleton, the Ottawa chapter of Tetra Society of North America, March of Dimes Canada, and Neil Squire Society. I would also like to thank AI Media, who are world-class leaders in translation and captioning, who are generously providing captioning for our online forum these next 3 days, and also the Government of Ontario for its ongoing financial support and commitment to Enable Ottawa. Thank you to all our areas in terms of helping us organize this event and to our supporters. And I thank all of you for being here today. And I wish you a great 3-day experience in this new virtual Enable Ottawa. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in for our inaugural session. We will be breaking now in order to go across to a short 10-minute break. You should be able to follow on in the other emails you've gotten with links for our next session with Maya and Ziv from Access Now. So I'll see you all back here in about 10 or at this point, 12 minutes. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks very much. Okay, bye-bye for now.